Okay.
So we're going to begin with a piece of Linda's writing.
And the topic for the week for us, for Nellie and I's conversation and in our talks, we're going to be talking about certainty with care. So this little piece came from our writing together. We're starting to write together regularly, and I really am enjoying that. Okay. Forming is such a tender time in a person's development. Taking up a meditation practice is one such time. Whether you come to a meditation practice out of curiosity, what's all the hype about, or because you need help in your life, de-stress and calm me down, please, or any other reason, you're coming into a forming process. We understand that in reflective meditation. Therefore, we are careful with our certainty.
Yes, and so many like spiritual practices, spiritual paths, religious paths are very certain, like this will, for example, this is what will happen when you die. Very certain about some things, but we take a different tact. We are careful with our certainty.
Right, because we have it. We have it in different areas and different experiences, but we're not trying to put that out there as what you should be certain about also. So we're going to explore certainty in a little bit of a different way. We both read an article from Julie Diamond this morning, so we were going to read a quote from hers too.
But before we go there, I just want to say one more thing about your writing, if I may, which is I really liked your words that we're coming, if you're new to meditation, you're coming into a forming process. So I might say throughout meditation, you're in a forming process.
Right.
But those very words, forming process, are really in opposition to the idea that there is something certain. And how to really say that? If things are always forming, they're not sort of like landing at some certain place. They're developing. We're getting wiser. We're getting less ignorant. We're getting, yes, we are hopefully getting a little more, at least sort of inward, learning how to be inwardly focused, perhaps a little less stressed out. But yeah, it's forming.
Yeah, and we're not really fully formed, right? We know we don't just fully form and then stop. It is a continual process.
Right. If we were fully formed and stopped, I'd call that
Yeah.
stagnation. And that's not where we're headed here, hopefully.
Yeah.
So now please go on to Julie Diamond.
So in this quote from Julie Diamond, I changed the word democracy to certainty, but I'm going to read it as she wrote it, and then we'll talk about that. So according to Julie Diamond, who, according to Plato, who she says Plato said this, he hated democracy or certainty. The problem with democracy is that it caters to people's need for easy answers. This, he believed, made them dangerously prone to demagogues. Democracy, he wrote, marginalizes the wise.
So I'll keep on reading from her. It's human nature to want the easy answer, to be assuaged and reassured. We want the diet pill for governance. Someone who says, follow me, I know the way, and I know who's responsible for your problems. Do this, eat that, avoid this one food. This one exercise will fix everything. Or we could say, this best meditation practice will fix everything. Do this practice.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's so amazing that this continues to this day in my life. How old I am, I still can fall for at times the one thing or the next best thing or something like that. And especially if it's sold to me in a way that I'm kind of susceptible to that type of certainty, which is usually not the hard, clobber them over the head type of thing. It's more of the sounds very wise to do that one thing.
And it might be wise to do that, but it's not the answer, the fix, the demagogue. It's perhaps a useful adjunct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that, I know that desire, I don't think that goes away. I think that's like hardwired into us, that desire for certainty, that desire for the one thing. I mean, the way it plays out for me is, in my news feed, if they say, oh, well, this is the food that will, really, this is what you must eat. And I know it's bogus, but yet I want to read it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I do that with shoes. Yeah. Just that they're going to be the most comfortable and fit your foot the best. Yeah. So.
And yet, I have found that Keens are the most comfortable for my foot. And so
True. True. Um, but we're actually kind of trying to bring in the other angle of certainty, that there is something in our certainty that is a kind of knowledge or intuition or best for us practice that we've learned over the years and with experience, and that you might come into meditation thinking, you want to get calm and knowing that. And that's really important, that forming process and staying with that and doing your best to try to get calm. It's an important developmental process for someone to be in. And we wouldn't try to knock someone out of that.
we wouldn't try to knock someone out of just about anything, but we would, of course, curiously have a conversation with them, carefully, curiously have a conversation about it, because we need certainty at certain points in our life. And again, as you said, certainty also can have wisdom. It can be about wisdom. I mean, I do believe the Keens are good shoes for me. I've tried a lot of shoes in my
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, at some point, some other um, idea or let's say advertisement will come in and have you question or challenge that certainty. I'd say in meditation, this happens. We have something come in and it challenges this desire to be calm, and it becomes a choice. Do we want to stay with that, with trying to do a practice that calms us down, or do we want to go into something that's more explorative or more dukkha-ish, more suffering or pain or angst? And that challenge will happen in meditation practice, and it will challenge what we think we know.
And meditation, and more, maybe even more so, reflection, really is a good place to question our certainty. It's we're sort of inwardly focused. We really have our best attention, our awareness on things, and we often can see more about them. And it's rarely just one thing. It's much more likely many conditions.
Right. And if anything, it seems like we have been, with the reflective meditation practice, is carefully kind of cultivating a container, a meditation container that's kind and curious and wise. And it seems to me that is the place that we want to bring some of these certainties, like you just said, Nellie.
Yes, maybe we should do that now.
I think a good idea. Might be my turn for the bells.